The grill is shot. The chairs are held together by optimism. And what happened to the rug? Sounds like your outdoor setup is not ready for patio season. Fix it all with Wayfair. Shop Wayfair for grills, rugs, furniture, and more. With 20 million 5-star reviews, room of choice delivery, and expert setup on qualifying orders, it's never been easier to do more for less. Get 10% off your first eligible purchase. Hurry to wayfair.com or download the app now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, June 15th, 2026. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. The United States and Iran have reached a tentative agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end more than 3 months of war. Jeff Murdoch and Von Kockain report an Iranian foreign minister confirmed a deal had been reached and said a ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. would begin. Further negotiations for a final settlement will continue over the next 60 days, and the parties could decide to extend that period. The announcement was made after a tense Sunday as continued Israeli attacks on a Hezbollah stronghold in Lebanon threatened to upend progress made between Iran and the U.S. An official signing of the agreement is scheduled for Friday in Switzerland. Outgoing Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has revoked 2 intelligence reports on brain injuries suffered by U.S. diplomats and intelligence personnel, a condition known as Havana syndrome. Bill Gertz reports and officials said the 2 reports were rescinded because of faulty techniques and methods. Intelligence assessments of the syndrome dismissed suspicions that the brain injuries and other symptoms were caused by some type of directed energy weapon. The assessments instead linked the causes to psychological problems or environmental factors, angering many of those affected. Havana syndrome was first reported by American diplomats in Cuba in 2016. Congressional Democrats are backing Adam Hamaway, their party's nominee in New Jersey's 12th congressional district, despite his vouching for a man who was convicted of seditious conspiracy in connection with the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Kerry Pickett reports Hamaway's website lists 21 endorsements, including from 14 Democratic and allied lawmakers, mostly from the party's liberal and progressive wings. Hamaway testified as a character witness for Omar Abdel Rahman in his 1995 trial following the bombing, which killed 6 people and injured more than 1,000 others. New Jersey Senator Andy Kim told Kerry Hamaway had earned his support through his military service. Hamaway served as a general surgeon and a flight surgeon in the U.S. Army Medical Corps during the war in Iraq. An illegal immigrant who coaxed a teenage girl to come to the United States and then sexually abused her has been sentenced to federal prison for his smuggling crimes. Stephen Dinan reports Juan G. will get an extra 26 months in a federal penitentiary, in addition to 2 consecutive 4-year sentences for 2 sexual battery convictions in Ohio stemming from abuse of the migrant girl. G admitted in court that he persuaded the family of a 14-year-old Guatemalan girl to allow her to cross the border illegally and then to pose as his sister to circumvent the usual background checks and turn the girl over to G to act as her sponsor. The girl, who was not identified by name in court documents, was one of roughly 100,000 unaccompanied migrant children to come to the United States in 2024. And finally, former college and pro football quarterback Tim Tebow had a hand in the passage of a recent bill targeting child exploitation. Lindsay McPherson reports Tebow had been lobbying Congress for more than 2 years to allocate more resources to a Homeland Security investigations unit that focuses on child exploitation cases. Senate Judiciary Crime and Counterterrorism Subcommittee Chairman Josh Hawley called Tebow to testify at a hearing, along with experts on child exploitation in March, which helped raise awareness of the issue. An Interpol database has more than 89,000 unidentified victims of online child sexual abuse, and Tebow said only a few government analysts are working to identify them so they can be rescued. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.